In a moment, we'll be hearing from the head teacher. But first, Matt Hudson is in Ely for us tonight. Matt.
Yes, there seems to be a whiff of zeitgeist about this story. School discipline certainly is something that an awful lot of people are talking about. Everyone has an opinion. I think we can see some pictures from today in Blackburn in Lancashire where staff actually walked out of a school because they claimed they were not getting enough support from the authorities when it came to disciplining children. Here at the City of Ely Community College, it's completely the reverse, with some people saying the new discipline is too draconian, others saying it's just what's needed to drive up standards. Watch this and make up your own minds. Plenty of work in evidence at the City of Ely Community College. The school's cracking down on indiscipline and who'd want a detention on a day like today. Certainly not the youngsters we were allowed to talk to.
Some people are always disrupting the lessons and they need to be stopped. And zero tolerance is the best way to do this.
The students now know that they've been warned so many times.
But hundreds of children have fallen foul of the zero tolerance policy introduced this week. 236 students got detention on Monday, 183 the next day. In total, there's been more than 600 so far this week. But those in charge say it's vital if standards are to rise.
They know we're in business, they know that we're in this for the long run, and we expect good behaviour from them in the long run. And yes, the message is getting through.
The rules aren't new, but now they're being rigidly enforced. They were put in a newsletter and sent out to parents and pupils, warning them of the zero tolerance approach. The offences that could get you a detention include incorrect uniform, including having excess makeup, wearing scarves or hoodies inside, dropping litter, having your mobile phone or MP3 player on display, being rude, or misbehaving on the way to or from school. Many parents are in favour. Sophie Martin's son was amongst those getting a detention.
I felt that if that's where he belonged, that's where he should be, and he hasn't been there since all week, so obviously it worked.
School discipline has certainly relaxed since these pictures were shot in the 1950s. Ipswich teacher Simon Waugh is also an educational broadcaster who believes a return to basics is vital.
Perhaps we don't want to go back to the days of children should be seen but not heard. Unfortunately, the pendulum has swung entirely the opposite way. And it means now that it is almost impossible to teach.
But not everyone agrees. Parent Peter Fuller supports discipline, but believes the policy was brought in too suddenly.
He's got his GCSEs coming up. And he's going to miss another day tomorrow because he's interviewing until 12:15.
Other parents we spoke to were divided.
This is why we're in the situation we're in, because they relaxed everything. Kids went mad.
My kids have been told if they are sent for an unfair reason to get their mobiles out and ring me.
Whether parents and pupils are for it or against it, the head teacher says the crackdown is here to stay. Matthew Hudson, Anglia News at the City of Ely Community College.
Well, we've been asking for your views on this story, and it certainly does seem to be splitting opinion.
Certainly does indeed. Caroline Waller has been in contact on our Facebook page saying, if my son was there and got detention, it would be his own fault. You're at school to learn, not to mess about.
Ross Bardwell from Norwich disagrees with detentions for silly things like shirts not tucked in. He says, as if that makes any difference to grades.
It's a flavour here, but Tommy Thorpe from Ipswich backs the move, saying teenagers get away with anything these days and it needs to stop.
Well, you can join in the debate right now on our Facebook and Twitter pages. You can also see a little more of what people are saying as we hear from the head teacher of the City of Ely Community College, Catherine Jenkinson-Dix.
I spoke to her earlier today and asked if she felt she'd gone too far after over 600 detentions had been handed out in just 3 days.
No, I don't. I think I need to put that in context, that on the first day we had 236 students referred into our hall, but that represents, we're a school of over 1,200, so that actually only represented 18% of our whole cohort. So clearly the vast majority of our students do understand the basic expectations and do get them right.
So the students seem to understand. What about the parents? What's been their reaction?
I think that the vast majority of parents are very, very supportive of it, because clearly what they're recognising is that their children are getting the best opportunity to learn in the best quality teaching and learning environment possible. There are some parents who clearly have felt that it is unreasonable and have felt that in some way the rules are new, and of course they're not new rules, but I think the fact that we've decided to set these as a minimum expectation and to deal with that is probably the thing that some parents have been concerned about.
And if those parents are concerned, I suppose it comes back to this other question about how, in the long term, how enforceable will this policy be, do you feel?
Well, I think for us, it's about establishing that this is the way we do things here. This is the culture, and it's very much focused around the learning. And certainly, as I've said, vast majority of our students are absolutely clear that that's what they want, and that's how they want their school to be. So from our perspective, we're clear about sustaining this level of momentum right the way through until that culture is embedded and every student meets the basic minimum expectations.
And this is happening on the day that up in Blackburn, some teachers have actually walked out because of the behaviour of students up there. Do you feel the behaviour of children generally is getting worse?
I'd have to say that no. I mean, I've already pointed out to you that in my school population, well over 80% of my students get it right on a daily basis. And in fact, if I talk to you about what's happening today, we've increased that to well over 90% today. So our students do understand the basic expectations, and they do want to meet them. And I think if we're clear with them about that, they respond very positively to it.
Catherine Jenkinson-Dix from the City of Ely Community College, many thanks indeed for your time and speaking to Anglia tonight.